Hi, my name is Karthik and I am from executeautomation.com and welcome to part 5 of our Catalan Studio video series. And we have already spoken about Catalan Studio a lot in many different videos, like how to work with Catalan Studio in basic for mobile, web, and different kinds of browsers, advanced interactions, custom keywords, and things of that nature. And in this video, I'll be talking about reporting and analytics. So these are the two most important things which is kind of going to rule this particular tool a lot than compared to any other tools which is available on the market right now, because Catalan Analytics, which is currently in beta stage, has really shown a lot of important key information which an automation test engineer as well as a company actually require for automating their application as well as getting an output out from an automation testing result. So Catalan Analytics is an enhanced version of Catalan test reporting which is already available, but we have not discussed about it a lot because it is kind of straightforward, but still it's going to make a lot of sense while we start working with Catalan test reporting and working with the advanced options which is available along with the Catalan Analytics. So we're going to talk both of them in this particular video. We can talk about test reporting a little bit and then we're going to talk about Catalan Analytics a lot. So let's get started. Catalan test reporting. As I said, we all know that the test reporting is the heart and soul of any automation testing. The reporting can be either an simple log or it can be a report with some details on the test automation result or test run, something like what you run on the test and what is the browser you're running the test or what is the environment you're going to run. So all those are simple informations and kind of details for the test execution. Or if you have details with some screenshots like failures of the test result, or you're going to see some of the screenshot with highlight and things of that nature. Or some custom formats which can be used by other custom test execution engines like NUnit or JUnit or things of that nature. So these are the different kinds of reportings output which can be used for any automation purpose or which can be used by any other third-party automation test integration like Jenkins or any other continuous integration system, you name it. So these are the most important reporting system that any automation test engineer can expect out from an test execution. But the good news here is Catalan cover all of them. I mean literally all of these options are covered by Catalan Studio. It generates log, it creates a simple and detailed along with screenshots of the report, as well as you can generate your own custom report and you can generate a custom HTML report out from a reporting engine of the Catalan Studio, and these are generated out of the box in the Catalan Studio itself. And Catalan test logger is something which is generated automatically. We have already discussed about it, and you can see that the Catalan logger can be used while debugging the test, or if you're going to execute the test and if you want to see very quickly what's really happening in high level, you can see that over here on the Catalan test logger. But it's just a very high level information on Catalan test logger. You can use that as a verbose mode where you can see what's really happening behind the scene. But if you're going to work with the reporting, then you can go with the Catalan reports. So this test report will be generated automatically with much granular details one ever need once a test is executed. But most important thing is Catalan reports will not be generated as like the Catalan logger information. Rather, you actually have to create a test suite or a test collection suite where you can generate this kind of reports. And again, the reports is going to be sitting in a reports tree node of the Catalan Studio IDE itself, and you can see that for the new collection, that is nothing but the test suite collection, you can see there is a report, and for the test suite you can see there is a report as well. So it will be automatically generated once you execute a test based on which you're executing. So the test suite and test collections, we have not discussed about it as well in our previous video. Basically it is more like how you collect or accumulate your test and execute it. That's the reason we have not touched it a lot, but actually it's pretty straightforward and simple like any other automation testing tool that you expect. For instance, with Code.UI testing, you have something called as order test. You put all your tests in single order and then you execute the test. It just executes based on the order that you can specify. So basically it's a collection of all those tests. Similarly, if you're going to execute order test with order test, you can again do that in a collection, but here there is something called as test suite collection where you can actually collect or accumulate all the test suites which you're going to execute. So as I said before, Catalan Test Suite contains a list of test cases that are intended for testing certain aspects of the application under test, whereas the Test Suite collection will contain a list of test suites to allow users more options for planning the test execution. So using Test Suite collection, one can run tests in parallel, sequential, and with different browsers. If you're going to work with the mobile operating system, then you can also run tests in parallel for iOS and Android. So these are the different kinds of mix and match execution that you can do with the Catalan Test Suite and Test Suite collections. Again, we will be doing that in a minute in this particular video, but just stay tuned and be informed that this is something which is out of the box available in Catalan Studio. And finally, the Catalan Analytics, which is currently in beta stage, but it is really helpful, and I have used it personally, and it's truly intuitive than compared to any other automation testing reporting system. Catalan Analytics brings user to the next level of reviewing Catalan Studio's test execution report, as opposed to the test execution report just out of the box available within Catalan Studio IDE. This is a web-based application, which is not something that you can see within Catalan Studio IDE. No, it's something that you have to view in a web browser, meaning you have to sign up for something called as analytics.catalan.com, and you gotta go there and you gotta sign up for, if you have a Catalan account, you will automatically enroll into that. You don't really have to sign up as a new user. So basically it is gonna show you all the powerful visualization, charts, graphs, and reports, so that the user can make an informed decision on the quality of the application build. And once again, if you want to learn more about this Catalan Analytics in theoretical, you can just head over to this docs.catalan.com/display/KA. So KA stands for Catalan Analytics basically. So you can go here and just you can read all those information, but we are not going to really deal all these things theoretically, rather we will see practically. And let's quickly see some screenshots. So basically the Catalan Analytics will generate some cool new intuitive reportings for you, something like this. You can see that it's going to show you the test project overall status with failed and passed, and what is the test execution ID, something like that. And also it's going to show you each and every test's granular detail, like what has actually failed and things of that nature. I have not created a full screenshot here, but we will see while we start discussing about it. And also you can see the history of your test execution performance and things of that nature. So let's quickly all of these things in action and understand how things work. So for that, I'm gonna flip to Catalan Studio. Alright, so I'm heading over to my Execute Automation GitHub here, and you can see that the code that we're going to discuss today is going to be from the code that we already have within our GitHub repo, which is the Catalan Studio Web UI. So you can just try to clone this particular repo and you can start working from that. That's it. It's pretty simple and straightforward. So I have already downloaded code in my machine, and this is the particular project which I'm looking for, right? So what I'm going to do is this. So I'm going to actually start working with the latest reporting systems and as well as the latest analytics stuff of the Catalan Studio, but make sure that you have the latest version of Catalan Studio, because the latest version of Catalan Studio is what is going to have your analytics available within it. And you can see the latest version that I have is 5.0.1. So if you have this particular version and if this Catalan Studio is up to date, then you can have and enjoy the analytics option which is provided by Catalan Studio now. And the most important thing that you have to do before getting started, which I have not covered in the slide, is this. You need to do a small settings before you start working with the Catalan Analytics itself. You actually have to go to the project settings, and then there is something called as Catalan Analytics, where you can set the credentials of your Catalan Studio. So basically here is my Catalan Studio server, and this is my email ID, and this is my password. So if I give all this thing and if I hit connect, it is basically going to select the team and then the project, and then you can hit the test results, whatever you want to hit, and then if you hit apply, this is going to integrate the IDE of Catalan Studio with the analytics.catalan.com. So let's quickly see what is this Catalan Analytics website is going to look like. So if I go over here to the Catalan Analytics website, you can see that it is currently in beta stage. So I guess this is coming because it is in the cache. So let me try to log in right now. All right, so it's going to basically open my default project which we have right now. So you can see that there are some execution tests happened right now within my test, and this is the project which you can see here, and there are some historical execution things coming up, and this is the test project which I'm actually talking about. So this test project actually has the whole report for me. And if you hit the team, and if you go to the teams at karthik@techgeek.co.in, it's going to show you the same thing again. So there is no big deal or no big change here. So this is the test project. But if you go to the projects section, you can create your own project. Basically, if I'm going to say this, execute automation as the project name, and if I hit create, so this is going to create a new project with a new ID this time. So you can see that the ID is 194, and this is the project name. And you can also change the name if you want in future, if you change your mind sometime. So this is what is the project creation here, and under this particular project ID, your test is going to happen or sit if you're going to run the test for that. So basically, as I said, once you do this particular project creation within this particular Catalan Studio web, and if you want to point this particular ID for your test execution, then you have to point on change this particular ID within the Catalan Studio IDE. So let me head over to my Catalan Studio this time, and let me try to connect once again. So if I do to connect this particular Catalan Studio's Analytics this time, you can see that this time it's going to bring me two projects. One is the execute automation that we just created, and then the existing test project which we already had. Now I'm going to choose the execute automation this time, because basically it is going to be a all new test, and I want to demonstrate how things work. So I'm going to choose that, and then I'm hit apply, and then I'm gonna hit OK. So basically now this is going to be an all new clean slate of reporting system. So if I go to the project execute automation, you can see there will be nothing. Basically it should be empty, and there should not be any result, as you can see, right? And now we are going to run a test and see what's really going to happen. So I'm going to head over again to the Catalan Studio, and now we have done two things. One is I signed up for the analytics.catalan.com. I created a new project, and then I configured that particular project within my project settings here to the Catalan Analytics, and I configured everything, and everything looks cool right now. So this is the very simple setup that we need to do before we get started with the Catalan Analytics itself. That's it. So we're done with this. And now I'm going to open our same existing test cases that we already executed. Basically, it is nothing to do with anything. So now if I'm going to run this particular test, basically if I'm going to execute this particular test within Firefox, it is going to do the same thing. It's going to open the browser, it's going to run the test for me, and then it's going to get passed. So basically it is going to be exactly the same thing which was happening even before. Alright, the test got executed and the test got passed, and as you can see here, the log viewer that we were talking about in the slide, everything is actually available over here within this particular statement, and then you can see that what are these things really happening behind the scenes. It's opening the browser, starting the Firefox driver, performing some kind of operation here, setting a text over here, and you can double click this and you can see what's really happening behind the scene. It's going to open the object repository page of execute automation, and then it's going to send some keys in the input username. We have already discussed about this log viewer in our previous video, so that's exactly what it is in here. But unfortunately, you can see that the report is still empty. The reason is because we are running the test right from here within the test case. So basically, if you're going to see any report within this particular report, then you need to do one most important thing. As I said in the slide, we need to create a test suite or a test suite collection. So I'm going to just right click the test suite, go to new test suite, and I'm going to give a name this time. So let's call this as a EA test 1, something like that, and then I'm going to hit OK. So this is one of the test suite. So the test suite will basically have nothing in it. You need to first of all create or add a test case within the test suite. So if I hit the add, you can see that the new test case over here, the same thing is coming over here as well. So I'm going to add this, and you can see that there is something called as execution information. So you can give a global execution information here. So once the test is executed, you can send an email to the mail recipient, and what is the last run things, and what is the retry count if the test fails, and if the test case fails, you gotta do some kind of operation. So all these things that you can set within this particular execution informations as well. And also then we need to create what is called as a test suite collection. So I'm just gonna right click this guy, new test suite collection, and let's give this as a parallel test collection or something like that. And within this particular test suite collection, I'm actually gonna add the test suite that we just added. So I'm gonna add this particular EA test 1. So you can see that this guy is gonna run with the Firefox browser this time. And if I want to run the same test suite within different browser, let's say I want to run this with the Chrome or IE, so you can again hit this add, and you can select the same test suite once again, really awesome, and you can choose the run with as Chrome. So now we can see that the same test, this test case is going to be sitting within this EA test 1, which is the test suite, and this test suite is going to run parallelly from this collection. And I'm saying parallelly, where do I really specify the test execution to be running in parallel? That's going to be sitting over here, the execution mod that you're going to see in. There is something called a sequential by default, and if you choose this as parallel, these two test suites are going to run in parallel within the same collection. And you can see by default the run is selected as checked, which means it's going to run the test. And also you can choose one more test suite if you want, and you can choose a different browser, or maybe you can run in Chrome headless, and you can see the Chrome headless is also added with this version, which is really awesome again. So let me choose IE, why not, and I'm gonna hit OK. So this is the parallel test collection. I'm gonna save everything, and if I execute this time, you can see that the empty report is gonna fill with some data. So let's quickly run this and see what's gonna really happen. So where do I execute this whole test collection? You can see there is something called as execute option here. So if I hit this, this is basically going to run the whole test parallelly this time. So let's see what's really going to happen. So we expect it to open 3 different browsers. One is IE, one is Firefox, one is Chrome. So you can see that the Chrome has opened, the IE has opened, and the Firefox has opened. So there's 3 browsers running the test for us this time. All right. I expect there will be some failure, at least from IE point of case. So cross my finger. Something is happening, but seems like the whole test got executed. But if I see, it shows all green, which is a happy news, but I'm not sure if the test is really got passed or something like that. There we go. You can see this time the report has this EA test 1, which is for the 3 suites that you are seeing in here. And there is a parallel test collection folder. This is for the suite, and this is for the test suite collections. And if I double click this, you can see that, yeah, as I said, the test got failed for IE, which is really a expected news. It's not a bad news or a good news. It is a expected news. So Chrome has got passed and Firefox has got passed, and if I hit this show detail, it's going to take me up to the test suite result basically. And if I double click this, or maybe if I see it here within this particular result, you can see there is something called as execution setting. There is some execution environment, all those stuffs in here, and you can actually export this particular result as well if you have already did. If not, you can just export this as HTML, CSV, JUnit. So these are something that I already said in my slide, that you can export this as an HTML or any test execution engine expected format. So you can do that as well. So I'm not going to really deep dive into these particular stuff this time, because our focus is going to be on the Catalan Analytics basically. So these are something that you can do and play around with this particular reporting. But this 5.0.1 of Catalan Studio has brought a new feature, as I said before, this one, the Catalan Analytics. This option is not something which is available in the previous version of Catalan Studio that we were playing around in our previous videos. And this guy, if you hit this, there is something called as upload. So let me go to the parallel test execution, you can see there is no such upload option. But if you go over here to the EA test 1 within the suite, you have this Catalan Analytics upload option. So if you hit this upload option, what it's basically going to do is it is going to collect all the reports, and then it's going to send the particular report to the Catalan Analytics. So you can maintain the whole test result within the Catalan Analytics, and Catalan Analytics is much intelligent enough to perform so many key analytical informations for you, something like what has gone wrong and what is the test result failure and why it has got failed and things of that nature. So I'm gonna flip my attention back to my Chrome, and then I'm gonna refresh this time. So basically you can see it's all empty, and now if I try to refresh, basically it should populate with data. There we go. You can see we have so many information this time. We have some failures as well, and we have some pass as well. So you can see there are like 2 failures and 2 passed. So let me see, what is this 2 failure? I expect 1 failure basically. I guess 1 is for the collection and 1 is for the test suite. So that's why there is 2 failure. So you can see that it shows that it's a new test case. That's the name, and the folder is test case, and it has started it this time. The duration was 8 seconds. Cool. And I don't know what is this age, and flakiness is 66.67%, just not bad. But still, if you hit this guy, you can see that it's going to show you the detailed information on the EA test 1, which is the test suite. So basically this failure is going to represent the test suite, and if I go back once again all the way to the another failure, which I suspect it to be the collection, but let me see what really is this. This is still EA test 1, which I don't really get. Maybe I'm missing something, but it should be a failure, which I would rather see rather 2, but it's okay. And you can see there is so much of information here in the console log, and there is error information is what's really happening. And you can see there is some attachments as well, like the error stack trace information. So you can see all the execution of this test case as well if you want. That's really, really good. It's all coming up in the Catalan Analytics beta version. So you can see it's still in beta, so you may encounter some kind of errors, but it is okay because it is still in testing mode. But the good news is we have something, and even not any paid software can really provide these kinds of typical critical informations for us, but Catalan Studio does it for us. And you can see all these informations are really, really helpful when you start working with one of the biggest project, and we understand that what's really happening behind the scene within our test execution. So that's it, guys. This is how you can work with the Catalan Analytics, and you can work out with your test execution report, and you can leverage the test execution report or the test result report to the next level using Catalan Analytics, right? So that's it, guys. Once again, thank you very much for watching this video, and have a great day.